How many of you have spent more than $50,000 trying to get your store open? Absolutely everybody. How about $100,000? A few of you. How many of you been dealing with this for more than a year? Yeah, almost everybody. Anybody here who's been dealing with this for 2 years or more? Okay, well, that's good to hear.
Mine's almost 2 years now.
Almost 2 years, okay.
Yeah.
Another one's almost 2 years. What kind of response have you received when you've reached out to BSI?
Basically, their responses to everything is, I don't know. They don't give you a response. They give you vague generalizations as their response. And nobody there knows anything. They can't answer any question.
I would like to chime in because for us, it's been the same thing though. We signed the lease since February, and of course they do the free 3 months when you sign the lease or something like that, and then after that, then you start paying. So this is February, and we're still like we're actually struggling to pay the rent to stay open because we're like late and behind with the rent and everything because we had to go borrow some more money outside just to keep the place open and have the place running so we don't lose the lease we already signed with the stuff in it. So that's where we're at. So we're at the stage where they're supposed to bring all the product, the hair, chemicals. We haven't received any. So it's just been like one type of delay or the other because when they said they were backed up with the infrastructure, the stuff, we suggested, can we buy to move the process faster? They refused. They say they cannot, they're not going to let us buy our own shelving and stuff because they're not liable when they put their product and it falls, it doesn't hold. And it's just like one like delay or the other just to not produce or, come through with what we paid for. That's just what it's been.
I see the rights. I know you guys have probably, all of you have experienced similar things, but tell me a little bit about your experience.
We signed the agreement with BSI in 2019, and that's when we gave the money, the payment for the full implementation package, and then we signed the lease last year, April 2023, and we're still not open. We don't have any shelving. We don't have the showcase. We don't have no products, nothing. And they keep the answer that they give us, or the response that they give us when we ask about our shelving, is the distributor is on back order.
So I actually signed a contract with BSI on August 2022. And I signed the lease for my space in February 2023. I finished the renovation by April. The store was ready for shipment and everything. I did not receive my slat walls and gondolas till like May of 2023. And after that, up until today, I never received one single thing from BSI. I started paying rent on my space in July of 2023, and I was at a point where I was about to lose the space because I'm a single parent and there was no extra income to come from anywhere for me to hold a space. But I had to go outside to find money to pay some of the rents that I owed and then borrow money again to buy the products. BSI kept telling me every time I would call about the inventory, they kept telling me that the vendors were on back order due to the pandemic, which everybody knows is a big lie. The same vendors I was able to buy from and get delivery the very next day. All the money I paid them, they still have. Now I'm having to find a lawyer to fight them and refund me my money back.
Seth, tell me a little bit about your experience.
Whenever you call them, it's the same story. Oh, you don't have nothing. I mean, I'm a married guy. I have 5 kids, and this has really hurt me a lot in terms of finances. Because at this point, I have nothing to. I mean, I don't have any option than to go in for death resettlement, so because I couldn't keep up paying my loan that I borrowed to set up this business and also pay this space, so
Yeah.
that's what I have to go in for. And since then, I'll still be waiting because last week they even sent out update email and it was the same story. Oh, you don't have nothing yet. So you still have to wait.
I'm seeing a lot of head shaking in agreement. If you have something that's unique, feel free to throw it in. Otherwise, I'd kind of like to shift gears and just talk about what some of you have already alluded to, the impact that this has been having on your life.
Oh, yeah.
My main thing now is like when we give them the money, I gave them the money in August of 2022. When you give them the money, they tell you that they keep that money in a holding account to buy your inventory and everything else you need for your store. But nobody has ever seen anything about the holding account. So we have no proof of them holding our money for us. So our best guess is they probably use that money to do other things. They don't have it to buy our inventory. That's why we were sitting in an empty space for months, paying rent on an empty space. I could have easily lost this space, lost all my inventory. They could have cared less.
I'm in DC. My rent is close to $7,000 a month. And so I tapped out completely. I too am a couple months behind in the rent. And I just made a hard decision that I would open up my store and get in even more debt with my credit cards, so that I will not fall behind in rent too terribly bad and have to buy all the supplies I need. But it's really taken a toll on me. And to be very honest, lifestyle, I don't know if I would still be here trying to wait for them to open up my store had I not opened up my store. And only through the grace of God that my store is open, and the support that some of us or most of us have given each other on this particular thread. We have been very supportive of each other.
The stuff that we went through in the beginning, we had to send lawyers. Lawyer had to send them letters in order to get our store open because one of the leaders of them basically was telling us, you're gonna do what we say you do. But we thought for a moment and say, hey, we're paying you to open the store, not you paying us to have a store. And they basically don't want to do nothing that you ask them to do, spend money on used products, which we know for a fact that half of that stuff that we paid for our budget allocation sheet was more, would have been more than what we spent for used products.
Well, I believe that they are misallocating the funds, but it's obvious there isn't a money issue because there is nowhere on the face of the earth where it takes a year to get some products. That is just not so. And we are on the verge of bankruptcy. My husband has been served debt lawsuits for us being sued because we can't pay the debt because we're not open yet.
They put me through and ruined my credit. So from 2001 until May 2022 that I signed a lease. So I was paying for the lease $3,200 every month. I didn't have any money. I was borrowing money from right to left so I can keep my store. I was calling them every single day with tears, crying on their phone in each department they had to send my products.
And then on top of that, what makes it even bad, one of the brokerage people that was working for him, I'm not going to call any names, but one of the people asked him a question about, what should they do or how do you think things are going to be? And he told us, I'm going to be very candid and I'm going to say it out loud. He said, you guys are.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
For most of you, is this the first time meeting other people who are in a similar situation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My first time.
How does this feel? I mean, is there a comfort in knowing you're not alone, or is it even just more infuriating to know that this goes beyond your situation?
Well, it makes you conclude that all they were trying to tell you or sell to you are lies. You know, because if you were the only person in this situation, you probably figure out, okay, maybe something is going bad. It's not you alone. It's like a whole bunch of people, and it's like the same story they're giving out to everybody, and they seem careless, no empathy. You know, it's like they don't care whatever happens to you. They don't care. You know, because for me, at some point I have some company stock. I have to sell it to keep paying my loans. You know, when that got exhausted, I have to borrow from my 401k to keep paying my loan. Now that got exhausted too, but I have no other option but, going for the death resettlement. You know, I know, it really messed up my credit now, but that's the only choice I have now. You know, just to bring down the amount of um, money I pay every month so that I'll be able to keep paying the loans. If I can't, I'll probably go in for bankruptcy. You know, and the store is not open yet.
What would you say to BSI or even future clients who might want to sign with BSI?
Run.
Well,
Do it.
I wouldn't say. I would say the state need to investigate them.
Yeah.
They're going to continue to do it until
They need to be investigated.
It needs to be stopped.
You can't take people money and just, lie to them and think, the person is vulnerable. There's nothing he can do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at me. I'm in Minnesota. How can I come to, and I read in the contract what they said if there is a lawsuit, it has to be
It has to be in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah.